In this video, I want to go through a process of coordinating our efforts with our MEP engineer and then looking at ways that we can update our work to reflect any coordination issues that we've discovered. So I'm going to rely on an interference check tool here for the first part of this video. This tool is only available in the full version of Revit. So if you have Revit LT, you won't be able to do the automatic interference check. You'll have to do that manually. But in both cases, once you've identified clashes or problems with the coordination, you will be able to reload your Revit link to solve the problem. So let's go ahead and start with the first part, which is running the interference check. Now, here in this model, you can see up in the ceiling, this blue information here. If I hover over that, that's a Revit link. And if I click to select it, you can see that all of that ductwork is part of that Revit link. So there may be some things that you can spot visually easily enough, like this diffuser that's poking down through the ceiling, but there may be other things that may not be as obvious, and that's where the interference check tool is really handy. So let's go to the Collaborate tab, and here on the Collaborate tab on the far right, we have this interference check drop down here. So I'll click that, and what I want to do is choose Run Interference Check. Now, this will display a window with two sides, and you can see that you can actually put the current project on both sides of the window. So it's actually possible to perform an interference check directly within the same project. Maybe you want to check whether or not your structure is clashing with your walls or whether your furniture is clashing with some equipment or something like that. But in this case, I want to actually put the current project on the left, and over here on the right, I want to choose my MEP model. So any of your linked Revit models will show up in that drop-down list. Now, next, you need to choose one or more categories on each side, and it will compare those categories to each other. So on my current project, what I'm most interested in is the information in the ceiling. So for me, that's going to be my lighting fixtures. So I'll simply check the lighting fixture category only. On this side, however, I'm interested in whether or not the lighting fixtures are clashing with any of the MEP information. So down here at the bottom, I can click this All button. That'll select everything. Then I can check any one of the boxes and it will check them all. And then I simply click OK to run the interference check. Now, that'll only take a few moments, and then it will display the report. And you can see here that I have 4 total clashes. Not too bad, but as you click on these, it will potentially highlight them in the view. Trouble is, this section view that I'm looking at is maybe not the best view to kind of see the results. Now, there is a show button here, and if you click that, it will actually zoom out in this view to kind of show it to me. Not the best choice, so I'll click show a second time, and then this is where it will display another view, and it says that it needs to search through some of my closed views now. So it's asking me if it's okay to continue, and I will click OK. And then it's going to start going through other views. And each time you click show, it will locate another potential view. Now, it took a few tries to get around to the second floor reflected ceiling plan. But now if I kind of click anywhere in this view and start to roll my wheel, you should see the selected item highlighted in orange with the item that it clashes with. So notice here that this air terminal is right on top of one of my light fixtures. Now, if I click this next air terminal, I've got a similar problem here, and then there's some flex duct and some flex duct, and they're all kind of in that same general location there. So now I've identified where the problems are, so I can take some notes about these things. So I'll get on the phone with my MEP engineer, we'll hash it out, and then let's say that we had a productive phone call and they have sent me a new version of the file to load in. So I will scroll down here on the project browser to the very bottom, locate the MEP model, right-click it, and then I have this reload from option right here. Now, there's also reload, but the trouble with reload is it will just reload the same file. And so if they didn't update that same file directly, then that's not going to help me. What they did instead was they sent me a new version of the file. So I'll choose reload from instead. And here's that file right here, MEP model updated. I'll open that. And it will tell me that it's not going to bring in a copy of my architectural model. That's perfectly fine. I'll close this. And you can already see here in the reflected ceiling plan that those air supply ducts have moved over. And what you can do now to verify everything is go to the interference check dropdown, choose Show Last Report, and then click Refresh. And so that will perform the same interference check over again. And then here I get no clashes, which is the goal of every project, to be 100% clash free. So in this case, I kept it obviously very simple and clashed just some really simple categories. And so I've achieved the results that I'm looking for there. But obviously in a more complicated project, there may still be some clashes that you have to work through. So once again, if you're working with LT, you don't have the interference check tool, but you can do visual coordination yourself, get on the phone, talk it out, and still reload the link and make the update. So that part of the workflow you can still do. It's just the automated interference check that you won't have.